pleased to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League presented by EA Sports. This was the scene a few minutes ago. The dog pound in full roar as their Browns emerge from their tunnel. And they're ready to go as they get set to match up with the Minnesota Vikings. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This will be taken short. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Now a first carry for Isaiah Crowell. And he is hit pretty hard from the side as he's knocked down around the 37. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Kaiser now on 2nd down. Room to run past midfield. He's got a man. It's Corey Coleman. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. A first down carry now for Crowell. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run game. No gain.
2nd down, Kaiser. Being chased out left. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Kaiser showing what he can do with his legs. It's more than just the arm. He scrambles and picks up the first. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. They'll run with Crowell. And Crowell lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. And some changes here as the D-line separates some. Again, it's Murray. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. From the gun, here's Newton. Going deep for Diggs. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. And now a first down following that long gain. They'll run the counter with Murray. So quick on the spin.
He's spinning, man.
And, he is really laid out that time. Knocked flat on his back at the 12-yard line. Relatively small sample size, but that's his longest run of the first quarter. Bounced it out to the outside to make it successful.
And to get there, you actually need some help. It's not just your pure speed getting to the corner, making sure that the blocking is taken care of inside so the pursuit doesn't get you. And oftentimes, those wide receivers, tight ends that might be flexed out, they've got to control the edge and make sure no one from the outside can spill the play before he gets there.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Latavius Murray, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. Kai Forbath on for the extra point. He's got it, and the Vikings take a 7-0 lead. Forbath out to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they thought they were in striking distance. And to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
And now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? Throw left side, caught by the tight end Njoku. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. This is Marlon Mack, the rookie from South Florida. And a big hit there as he runs into a brick wall right near the 39. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. They'll throw here. Kaiser. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
2 yards to go here on 3rd down. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. On 3rd down, that's Mack. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
4th and short, partner. I mean, this would be a really risky call. Here we are in the first quarter.
On your own side of the field.
Own side of the field. But, boy, what a tough. Center, that would be to go for it and get it, wouldn't it?
You're gritty today. I like it.
I'm feeling it.
And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard.
Come on, let's go.
Back with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Browns with a football to begin quarter number 2. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. The Browns send out their punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. Reminder, a couple of good games still to come later tonight. It's the Steelers on the road in Detroit taking on the Lions. Then Monday night, the costumes will be in full force in Kansas City, I'm sure, as on the day before Halloween, we'll see the Chiefs play host to their AFC West rivals, the Broncos.
And wasn't it just a couple years ago, those two played a night game that was won by the Broncos on a fumble return with like 20 seconds to go?
Absolutely, that was a thriller. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. First down, Murray. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. That was 2nd down run for Murray. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Here's Murray. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. They'll try the air now with Newton. Going deep for Diggs. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards. And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. And the D-line pinching together, must be expecting the run. Now the Georgia Southern man. This is Jerick McKinnon. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
They keep it on the ground, but this time it's Murray. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
You and I both know that you don't really truly replace Adrian Peterson, but Latavius Murray is a really good back. Similar running styles, too. Won't wear the same number, we know that. But when you see him run, you might see a little bit of that in him, upright with some power.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Two minutes to play here in the first half. My good friend Charles and I right back at you after this. They go back to Murray on first down. And despite the fancy footwork we saw, they'll get to him just inside the 15. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
I like the call. Inside the red zone, running the toss. Why? They want to get to the edges. They want to see if guys who don't normally make a lot of tackles are willing to actually do that. That usually means the guys in the cornerback position.
10th carry of the game now, Murray. And this play goes nowhere, losing yardage back to the 15. And this seemingly endless drive continues. Diggs going in motion right. On the toss, it's McKinnon. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. And now the Browns are going to take another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And Forbath will put this one through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. And Charles, they get the field goal. Took him a dozen plays, though.
Work with me on this one. You know what I'm about to say, right? Bend but don't break. That's what came into play here for the defense. 12 plays were run at them. They only gave up 3 points. In a lot of ways, that's a win for the defense.
Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
Throwing again is Kaiser on 2nd and 10. And this is incomplete. Tyrell Williams was the intended target. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Working out of the gun. Here's Kaiser. And now another one thrown incomplete. I don't know. He had to be pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I'm giving him some credit.
Well, I'm thinking about the mental focus, you know? Yeah. The mental focus.
Yeah, that's true.
You got to stay with it.
That's true. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And out now come the Vikings. And last time they were able to churn some clock. They got the field goal, added on to their lead. But that was a drive that was so long, it should have ended in a touchdown. You know that's how they felt.
And we'll both be headed to the airport after the game. But we probably should go to the post-game press conference because someone's going to ask the head coach about this drive. And he's going to profess that he was
into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Jabril Peppers with his first career INT. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. A first down throw for Kaiser. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Well, one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Screen play, Johnson. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of 4. Now third down. And that screen there on second down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying it is one thing. We can second guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize it is broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on third down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a first.
And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. David Njoku in the final seconds of the first half. And the Browns are back within a score. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, full half to be played. And now out comes Minnesota. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. And they're going to go soft on the corners. A final shot before the break. Newton. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete. Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
On second down, here's Newton. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Vontaze Burfict. Coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. The Vikings on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. They fake the give. Newton. And that is incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
And a good result there as that'll get out of bounds and pin them back at their 10-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Daniil Hunter in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Out of his end zone, Kaiser dumping it off for Johnson. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Kaiser now. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Daniil Hunter, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. The Browns send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out quickly, and this is not a bad kick here. Taken right around the 44. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. Shift together here from the D-line. Here's McKinnon. And he'll bring this one inside the 35. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the 3rd quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the 2nd half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game.
Touchdown, Vikings! Jerick McKinnon with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit. But for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
I think they want to start getting back into this game. It behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. So 2nd and 9, the defense looking to put them in a bad spot here. Now Kaiser. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
To throw is Kaiser. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. A rookie QB struggling, gets thrown down to the ground there. But, you know, maybe this game, it's not over yet, but maybe this game can be a learning experience for him.
So many different things that he has to pick up on. When to go ahead and flush from the pocket and run. When to get rid of the football and not take the sack. When to just go ahead and go down early and make sure you don't fumble the football. So many things that he has to learn. This game starts the process.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And it'll be Viking football here as they take possession.
20.
They go play action here on first down. Going for the deep ball. And this is caught inside the 5. It's a big one there for the Vikings. 55 yards.
So let's go ahead and add to the difficulties of guys trying to cover receivers. They got to deal with speed, shiftiness, all that stuff. But how about when they have height and length and deep downfield? You throw the ball up in the air. That's how they uncover at the end of a route, by being able to go up over the...
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Adam Thielen, his first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. Well, that was a quick hitter drive. They had the huge play to get him down near the goal line, and then they run it in. I don't know that the defense ever had a chance to catch their breath.
A lot of the time now, when we see people hit big plays, and each team defines a big play their own way, 10, 15-yard gains. In this case, it was a huge gain. They often want to hurry up and go right away. Keep the momentum going, hit them again, and I think we just saw that there. The second play resulted in pay dirt.
Forbath out to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And the Browns getting set to go. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his...
Kaiser hit, and he lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's third down now. The Browns on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. From the gun, Kaiser. Underneath for Johnson. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Kaiser and the offense staying put. They're going for it. On 4th down, they snap it to Kaiser, eluding the pressure right. And this is going to be incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
To throw on second down is Newton. And he's going to go down here as sacked. They push him back to the 34. The number 1 overall pick, Myles Garrett. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Now Newton. screenplay. McKinnon. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. A short gain there of just 4, and that'll bring up a 4th down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big gain.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that will extend their lead even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the 4th.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Here comes the Browns offense back onto the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my...
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Tremaine Brock. That had disaster written all over. You've got a right-handed quarterback, a rolling left, and throwing it pretty far downfield.
It's really difficult to do, to try and get your body twisted around into the proper position and get anything on the ball as you heave it downfield. And that's what it actually turns into, a heave. And that's not really a good throw, is it?
Not good, and we saw the result. Now following the interception, here's Newton. And I think the ball's out. And this is picked up by the Browns.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the 4th quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. So they almost turn it over there. Scary moment, 2nd down here. Kyle Rudolph, the tight end, in motion. Toss play to McKinnon. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a 1st down. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. And a new set of downs here after picking up the 1st on the ground. And Charles, this infraction's going to be against the offense. False start.
Sometimes you have to get up to the line of scrimmage, make sure your team is set before you begin your cadence.
Now McKinnon. A big hit. Knocked down sideways at the 24-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. McKinnon. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Here's Newton. He'll find Thielen, work in the middle. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. They wind up getting 16, but even that's not quite enough. It's 4th down. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. And Forbath will put this one through, and that lead will move from 20 up now to 23. So he splits the uprights there, and I would imagine it's nice as a kicker. Right when it leaves your foot, you know it's good.
Yeah, it's kind of like a golfer that picks up his tee after a nice drive without even watching it land.
Solid analogy. I like it. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And now the Browns coming out on the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Anthony Barr coming in from that outside linebacker spot to bury him for a loss of 7. Now a second down throw for Kaiser. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Anderson-Dejo. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Newton's going to throw it. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. This call down near the goal line. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So another score there. Often you talk about the three phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. This one taken from the 7th. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Browns offense heading back out to take possession. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Everson Griffin in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. Kaiser now on second down. To the right side and complete to Njoku. And he'll be knocked down sideways. Right around the 26. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. The Browns on third down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Kaiser to throw it. He's going to let it fly. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And what a return as he brings this one all the way back to the 25-yard line. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. That is caught inside the 5. And a nice gain at 21 yards.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
Well, right now, maybe they're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone if they win big.
It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score one touchdown,